Vietnam was the first true helicopter war. These machines forever changed warfare, creating the concept of air cavalry. The ubiquitous Huey is the enduring symbol of the war. The slick version's primary job was inserting and extracting infantry. Before dedicated attack helicopters, Hueys were heavily armed to act as escorts. These hogs provided vital suppressive fire. Used in the very early years, the H-21 Flying Banana was the first heavy troop transport. It was soon replaced as it struggled in the tropical heat. The H-34 was a rugged, radial engine workhorse used extensively by the Marines early in the war, before turbine helicopters took over. The tiny egg-shaped UH-6 Loach was incredibly fast and agile. It was the primary scout helicopter for most of the war. The UH-13 Sioux, famous from the Korean War, the bubble-canopied UH-13 Sioux saw limited service in the very early days of Vietnam as a scout. The CH-21 was the workhorse of the early war period, moving troops into the jungle before the Huey arrived in numbers. The Air Force used their own version, the UH-1 F. It had a different engine and was used to support special forces deep in enemy territory. The call sign "Dust-Off" meant hope. These unarmed medevac crews risked everything to get wounded soldiers to a hospital. The Cobra was the world's first dedicated attack helicopter. It used many Huey parts but arranged them in a sleek tandem-seat fuselage. The Marines preferred the twin-engine AH-1J Sea Cobra. The second engine provided a vital safety margin for operations over water. The UH-1C was the dedicated gunship version of the Huey, featuring an improved rotor system for better performance before the Cobra arrived. An experiment in massive firepower, 4 Chinooks were converted into flying battleships nicknamed Guns A-Go-Go. They were powerful but huge targets. The electrically driven 6-barreled minigun provided terrifying firepower, capable of firing thousands of rounds per minute. Rockets were the main area weapon for gunships. A full salvo from a Cobra could devastate a large area of jungle instantly. The front gunner controlled a lethal nose turret, often combining a fast-firing minigun with a 40mm grenade launcher. The door gunner was essential. Hanging out the side of the Huey, they provided crucial covering fire during landing and takeoff. Pink teams were deadly hunter-killer pairings. A small scout helicopter would find the enemy, and the Cobra would roll in to destroy them. Cobra pilots were known for their bravery, performing steep diving attacks right over friendly troops to break enemy contact. The massive twin-rotor Chinook was essential for heavy transport. It moved artillery batteries, vehicles, and countless supplies. The Marines' heavy lifter was the powerful CH-54 Sea Stallion. It was faster and could carry more than the Chinook. The strange-looking CH-54 Skycrane was a super heavy lifter designed to carry massive loads snugly against its skeletal frame. Often confused with the Chinook, the smaller CH-46 Frog was the primary assault transport for the U.S. Marines. The naval version of the H-34, the Seahorse, served valiantly with the Marines in the early years before being replaced. A relic of the piston era, the massive CH-37 Mojave saw brief service in the early 60s, recovering downed aircraft. The Chinook's sealed hull allowed it to land on water, a vital capability for operations in the flooded Mekong Delta region. Its ability to external sling-load heavy equipment meant firepower could be positioned almost anywhere on the battlefield. The war was fed by helicopter. Everything from food and ammo to beer was delivered to remote outposts via cargo nets. The Skycrane could carry detachable pods, turning the helicopter into a flying mobile hospital or command center. Based on the civilian Jet Ranger, the UH-58 Kiowa began replacing the Loach in the scout role during the later years of the war. Another early scout, the UH-23 Raven, saw limited combat use but was primarily used as a trainer for new pilots. The strange-looking HH-43 Husky with intermeshing rotors was primarily used for air-base crash rescue and fire suppression duties. The legendary Jolly Green Giants were large, armored helicopters used for combat search and rescue deep in enemy territory. Later, the massive HH-53 Super Jolly took over. Faster, heavier, and more heavily armed, it was the ultimate rescue machine. Navy SH-3 Sea Kings, call sign Big Mother, performed vital search and rescue missions for pilots downed off the coast. The compact UH-2 Sea Sprite operated from smaller Navy ships, providing utility and rescue support throughout the Gulf of Tonkin. When landing wasn't possible, the heavy Jungle Penetrator hoist was lowered through the thick canopy to pull survivors to safety. Used by the Air Force and Marines, the twin-engine UH-1N provided extra reliability for over-water missions and special operations. Popping smoke was the universal signal. Ground troops used colored smoke to mark their location and the landing zone for incoming pilots. The crews were incredibly young, often just 19 or 20. They faced intense danger daily, suffering high casualty rates. Ammunition was the currency of survival. Door gunners burned through thousands of rounds of 6.72mm ammo defending their birds. Air crews wore heavy ceramic chest protectors, nicknamed chicken plates, to stop ground fire coming through the floor. Behind every pilot were the crew chiefs. Working round the clock in harsh conditions, they kept these complex machines in the air. The Huey and the Cobra defined the war. Sharing the same DNA, this transport and attacker duo rewrote the book on tactics. The heavy lifters, Chinook, Sea Stallion, and Skycrane, made it possible to fight a heavy war in a country with few roads. The small scouts were the eyes of the army, risking everything to find the enemy first. Over 5,000 helicopters were lost during the war. Each wreck tells a story of violence and often heroism. We honor the service of every pilot, crew chief, and door gunner who earned the Vietnam Service Medal. The helicopter war in Vietnam left an enduring legacy. We remember the crews who flew into hell so that others could come home.